We are going to start off with IELTS writing, and there is one type of essay which is very important. Basically, there are four types of essays, and out of those four types, two types are extremely important, and those important types are opinion essay and discussion essay. So today we are going to discuss how to write a discussion essay, how many paragraphs you have to write, what to write in all these paragraphs. And by the way, for discussion essay, we have this book, and the unit that we have in this book is unit number 6. For academic book, unit number 6, and for general training book, it's unit number 5. Those who got this book, general training unit number 5 and academic unit number 6. Okay, so we'll go through this unit in detail, but before that I would like to just give you the basic information about discussion essay. Okay, whenever there is any topic for essay writing, the first thing is that you look at the topic and immediately you realize which type of essay is that, because the body paragraphs and the number of body paragraphs, they depend on that very type. For instance, you write opinion essay. In opinion essay, you write 3 body paragraphs. You write discussion essay, you may write 2 body paragraphs, but I recommend 3 body paragraphs for a discussion essay. Then you write problem solution essay, again 3 body paragraphs. Okay, and when you write advantages outweigh drawbacks essay, again you can write 3 body paragraphs. So minimum body paragraphs are 3 and maximum 4. But normally we have 3 body paragraphs. And body paragraphs depend on the layout that you have in mind. In actual exam, if they give you a 5th type of essay which you have not read in the book, it will not happen, by the way. Even then, you're not going to be nervous. You know the art of writing essay. So whatever the topic is, you can say, all right, I can cover this topic in 2 paragraphs or 3 paragraphs, and then you can just go on with that. Okay, so don't get nervous how many paragraphs to write. This is a type of essay, we call it a double question essay. In double question essay, they give you 2 questions. One can be about problems, one can be about suggestions, one can be about solution, one can be about advantages or disadvantages. So you don't have to be upset about it. For double question essays, you can write 1 paragraph to answer 1 question, or otherwise, if you want to write short paragraphs, then you can write 2 paragraphs to answer 1 question, 2 paragraphs to answer second question, and introduction and conclusion will come over there. So there and then you need to decide on the number of paragraphs. And overall, in IELTS writing, they test 2 things. Above all, they test your language skills. How well you know English, they check that. And second thing that they check is your knowledge. So knowledge is important. That is why there are 10 umbrella topics which are given in the book. So you need to develop your knowledge on those topics. For example, topic is technology, social media. So you need to know about all these things. Okay. Now, as far as marking criteria is concerned, whenever you write an essay and examiner is marking your essay on computer, examiner will have screen like, a call center. So there is IELTS resource center where they check all the writings and speaking and all that. So what will happen there? Examiner will look at your essay and examiner will not correct your essay. Like you might think examiner will correct my essay, examiner will correct my mistakes there. No, examiner will just read your essay carefully, and then examiner will see 4 things in your essay. The first thing is task achievement. We also call it task response. It means how thoroughly you cover the topic. I mean, for example, they give you a certain topic and you have to write on a certain point. In IELTS, they will give you topics in statements. In IELTS, they will not give you one word topic or one idea. They'll give you a statement. If topic is going abroad, there will be a certain thing about going abroad on which you have to write. So first you need to read, understand the topic, and you have to decide what to add and what to exclude from that very topic. So the first thing is task response. If task response is not met, your essay will be 0. Task response means how thoroughly you cover the topic. And if you don't cover that topic, they give you a topic to write an essay and you write there thirsty crow or greedy dog. You know what I mean? Irrelevant essay, totally irrelevant essay. So you will get 1 band. And when task response is not there, then grammar, vocabulary, coherence and cohesion, they don't consider that. So most important thing is how thoroughly you cover the topic. Okay. And if you partially cover the topic, you don't cover all the topic, then you get band like 5, 5.5. And if you mostly cover the topic, then you get band 6, 6.5. And if you cover almost all the topic, then you get 8, 7.5 in that very marking criteria. Okay. The next marking criteria that we have is grammatical range and accuracy. Now, in grammatical range and accuracy, they will check your sentence structure. They will check the sentences, and you have to use a variety of sentence structures: simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and conditional sentences. So you need to give a variety to the examiner. I mean, examiner will give you band score on what you write, and the writing, length of your essay is 250 words minimum, and maximum you can write 350 words, because otherwise you cannot manage your time. Okay, so within 250 to 300 words you have to tell the whole thing, right? So if it is less than 250, again task response, you will get low band score over there. For example, you hardly write 150 words, so you will get low band score in task response. Okay, now grammatical range and accuracy, again you need to write compound, complex, conditional. Then you can use active voice, passive voice appropriately. Then you can use modal verbs: can, could, should be done, should be delivered, stricter laws should be implemented on such type of activities, things like that. Okay, you need to show the examiner good grammar. And accuracy, accuracy means spelling mistakes should not be there, punctuation marks, by all means it should be accurate. And by the way, even for 9 band criteria, there is room for mistakes. For 9 band, they say where very few mistakes. So if you make very few mistakes, you can get 9 band as well in writing. Okay, and once this IELTS transferred from paper delivered to computer delivered, now students are getting good band score in writing. And I've noticed one more thing, as we have certain templates, certain ready-made sentences in these books. So after using them appropriately, getting 6.5, 7, if you focus and use these sentences appropriately, that's not a big deal. You can just get that. In the past, when it was paper delivered, handwriting was the main issue, because sometimes you write and only you can read, others cannot read that. Okay, your writing is like that. So now it's better. You can make a good layout. You can write paragraphs. After each paragraph, you can give 1 line space and all that. Okay, so this is grammatical range and accuracy. After that, we have vocabulary. They call it lexical resource. Lexical resource is your vocabulary. Now, as we are discussing discussion essay, so in discussion essay, you need to use 2 types of vocabulary. One is discussion essay related words which are used in discussion essay. So again, we have this book. There are 100 words which you can use in any discussion essay. So this vocabulary is for discussion essay. For example, problem solution essay. So there are certain words which you will use only in problem solution essay to resolve this issue, to overcome this problem, such type of words. Okay, so one vocabulary is topic specific vocabulary, and one vocabulary is type specific vocabulary. Type specific vocabulary you will get here, and topic specific vocabulary. Now, for instance, your topic is studying abroad, right? Now you need to know all the words when you are overseas, when you are outside your country, when you are not in your homeland, something like that. So you need to use a variety of words. And the key is variety of simple words which are related to the topic. If the words are not related to the topic and you are trying to relate them, you will never get good band score on vocabulary. In vocabulary, they also check the spelling. In IELTS, spelling is important. So you need to write correct spelling of all the words. If there are spelling mistakes, you will get low band score in vocabulary. They call it lexical resource. Okay. So you need, whenever you learn the words, don't learn individual words. Learn words in sentences. When you learn words in sentences, it's gonna be good. And in this book, we have at least 30 to 35 essays which have been written by examiners. So you will get certain words, and whenever you find a new word, you need to check the meaning of that word, and then that word is going to be yours. Contextual use of the word is very, very important. If you know a word and you don't know how to use it, and when you use it in a wrong way, that word will not benefit you. Okay. So this is lexical resource. Next we have coherence and cohesion. Now, coherence and cohesion, there are two things here. All these things are in the book, by the way, whatever I'm telling you. Coherence and cohesion means the connectivity of the ideas, right? And you say one thing, then you explain that thing, right? Like whenever we have our dinner or lunch, first we have soup, then we have first main course, then second main course, then after that we have sweet dishes, then at the end we have hot drinks. Okay, so if you start your dinner with sweet dishes, and especially you are invited to a buffet lunch, you cannot eat more, right? Yeah, first protein, mutton and all that gradually. So when you write an essay, coherence and cohesion is very, very important. Two things. One is the whole layout, paragraphing. So if you write an essay, I take a look at your essay from here, I should be able to see, yes, she has written 4 paragraphs, right? All the paragraphs should stand alone. And how will they stand alone? If you give one line gap. That's very simple. Second, in IELTS writing, in order to achieve good coherence and cohesion, your ideas should be well-developed ideas, right? For instance, if I say cold water is not good for human health, this is my argument, right? Cold water is not good for human health. By this I mean, whenever you drink cold water, it disturbs your throat, and as a result, you develop throat infection, which may cause certain diseases which are difficult to cope with in the future. What is that? I have explained my argument. If I say cold water is not good for human health, cold water is very bad for human health, people should not drink cold water is this, I'm not developing my ideas. So if I don't develop my ideas, I'll get 5 banned. Right? So you need to develop your ideas, right? And then I can give example. For instance, if you come from a hot weather and immediately you gulp down a glass of very cold water, it can actually destroy your internal system or anything like that. You know better, huh? So she's already in the medicine profession, so she knows that. So like this, you need to give example, you need to elaborate. Whenever you elaborate your ideas, remember 4 things. First, main idea. Second, explain that main idea. As I give you the example, cold water is not good for health. By this I mean, so explain that main idea. Number 3, give a relevant example. And you can create the example. For instance, if you go to any restaurant and you order food there, something like that, and whenever you give example, it's a good idea to give example of plural, means people, instead of individual. Right? So, I mean, it's better to say all the teenagers who listen to music, or most of the teenagers who listen to music, people who go to the cinema to watch movies, people who go to the cinema to watch movies, or old people who have health issues. For example, the elderly people who have health issues. Now, instead of saying my grandfather who has health issue, I would say elderly people who have health issues and all that. So give examples of messes, plural examples. Don't give personal example, like you're writing an essay and you say my daughter, my husband, my wife, my children and all that. You need to give example of other people, categorize them, generalize them. Generalize means general example, okay? And then each body paragraph should be concluded. Therefore, cold water is very dangerous for human health. That is why people should not drink cold water, especially during the hot summer days. That is why, therefore, this is called conclusion. So if you write these 4 sentences in your body paragraph, you're likely to get good bench score. So the first paragraph is introduction, last paragraph is conclusion. Okay, now coming back to discussion essay. How to catch that this is a discussion essay? It's very, very simple. In discussion essay, they will give you this punchline. Punchline is like, you know, different companies, they have their punchlines. Nike, what is their punchline? Just do it. Nike, just do it, okay? There are other companies and they have their punchlines, like one sentence and all that. So for discussion essay, the punchline is discuss both views and give your own opinion. Now some understand, discuss both views, it's a discussion essay. And then they write, give your own opinion. Some say, opinion essay. It's actually discussion essay where you have to discuss 2 sides, coffee and tea. And then you have to give your own opinion whether coffee is better or tea is better. Got the point? Discussion, the purpose of discussion. What is the purpose of discussion? To discuss both things and then to narrow down to one point. For example, you're discussing village life and city life. You talk about village life impartially. You talk about city life impartially. Impartially means you don't say I think. People who live in the village, people who live in big cities, they come across certain problem. People, not I. And when you write that opinion, one paragraph, by the way, introduction, discuss one side, discuss other side, give your opinion and conclusion. Like this, you're going to write 5 paragraphs. So you will discuss people who live in the city, then you will discuss people who live in the village. They often complain, they often do this. And then in my opinion, living in a city is far better than the rural lifestyle. And then you elaborate a little on that. And finally, you write conclusion. So 5 paragraphs are okay. But some writers, some IELTS experts, they say write 4 paragraphs. So is it okay to write 4 paragraphs? It is okay. In essay writing, we don't have rules. Essay writing does not have rules. One of my students, he wanted 5 band in IELTS and he wrote all the essay in 1 paragraph. Can you imagine? 250 plus words in 1 paragraph, no other paragraph, and he got 5.5. Okay, so don't worry about that. Now, it doesn't mean you write all in 1 paragraph. It doesn't mean that. Okay, and one of my students, he wrote all capital. In listening, you can write all capital. In reading, you can write all capital. In writing, you shouldn't. Okay, you shouldn't write all capital. But if you write all capital in writing, it doesn't mean you will get no band. You will get band on that as well. It's confirmed. Okay, but it's better to use the capitalization order because proper nouns are capitalized. So you need to follow that order. So coming back to your essay type, 4 paragraphs, 5 paragraphs, 3 body paragraphs or 2 body paragraphs, both are okay. People who say that you need to write 2 body paragraphs, how to do that? Introduction. In 1 body paragraph, discuss the side that you support, right? For example, if I support city life, I will first start with city life. Then next body paragraph, discuss the side that you do not support, write about that. And then conclusion. In conclusion, you give your opinion. You can do that as well, right? There's no problem. It's all up to you. You need to cover the topic and you need to cover the topic well. That's it. So how will we understand that this is a discussion essay? Because the sentence is discuss both views and give your own opinion. For IELTS essay writing, another thing is very important. We call it brainstorming. Topic is on the screen. You have read the topic already and now you are, I don't know anything about this topic, okay? But it will never happen. IELTS writing topics are general topics. They are not general knowledge. So if you have basic knowledge about technology and internet and social media, crime, punishment, going abroad, and they always give you current issues. In IELTS essay writing, there are always current issues, things which are happening now. Okay, so you need to write accordingly. And if your knowledge is weak but language is strong, still you will get good bench score. Okay, because in writing there is task response, only 1 marking criteria, and even there they give you some leverage. Like if your ideas are not very strong but your language structure is good, they will give you good bench score. But it does not mean you don't improve on ideas. But if you write anything irrelevant, you will not get good bench score on that. Okay, so 4 marking criterias. Discussion essay, you can easily understand, discuss both views and give your own opinion. Now, I was telling you about brainstorming. What is brainstorming? You read the topic. When your writing test is launched, it will be launched on computer. They use the word launch the test. So when your writing test is launched, countdown timer will start. Even there is the word counter as well. You first read the topic of essay. You will start with part 1. But first you will read the topic of essay, read it, translate it into your own language, and this process will be going on in your heart. And then you say, okay, one side is this and other side is that. You need to clarify that. Okay, and then I have to discuss both sides and give my own opinion. Okay, leave it there, come back to task 1, start doing your task 1. Once your task 1 is finished, and try to finish task 1 in 15 minutes because you need more time for task 2 and you are likely to make more mistakes when you are typing. When you handwrite something, you don't make as many mistakes, but when you type, there are more mistakes. Like for example, you have to write the word coffee. maybe you miss the last E of coffee, right? So sometimes you press, but you don't press it hard, so you cannot type that. So you need to have some time for proofreading. It may improve your half bend for careless mistakes, like sometimes no full stop, sometimes no comma. So whenever you proofread, don't change your essay at this point. For proofreading, you need to do two things. First, you need to see comma and full stop. And there is a handout, I'll share that with you, 21 rules of comma. It's only one page handout and you can go through it and you can learn the rules of comma. Second, comma, full stop, and if there is any spelling mistake, missing spelling, missing letters in the words, so you can just do that. And if you feel that here I have used the wrong tense, I need to correct that. And whenever you are doing proofreading, you need to do it with mouse. The cursor will move and your eyes will follow the cursor, right? Then you can do it quickly. And if you're only doing it like this, your eyes will, and even in reading, you need to use mouse. When you're scanning, for scanning, you must use mouse, because mouse will help you. When your eyes follow the cursor of mouse, your eyes go faster as compared to going otherwise, right? So this is what you need to consider. And when you write your essay, you need to leave a line after each paragraph, and all the paragraphs should be written correctly. One more thing, don't give any heading. In IELTS, don't give heading. Introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, conclusion. Don't give any heading, please. Don't give any heading. Don't write anything bold. Don't give any numbering, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Yes, you can say first of all, secondly, another point, and all that. Okay. One more thing, in order to achieve coherence and cohesion, you can use connecting words. And these connecting words may help you. When you guide, for example, if I say, first of all, we will start the class with introduction. Then after that, you will be served with the tea, with biscuits. Okay. And finally, we will start the lecture. Now you understand. First of all, secondly, and then there is the lecture. So this is first of all, secondly, for example, moreover, to conclude. These type of words must be used in your essay to guide the reader. You actually guide the reader. You tell the reader that now this is example, this is my first point, this is my second point, this is my explanation. So every sentence should have a tag like that. Like first of all, secondly, moreover, for example, to conclude, and all that. So this will help you to achieve better coherence and cohesion. And again, discussion essay is very important, but it's very simple. They always give you two sides which you have to discuss, and then your conclusion or your opinion is which side you support. There are two sides, and you cannot say I support both. Then you cannot achieve good conclusion. Conclusion is very important. The outcome of discussion is like whenever you discuss, discussion essay is very similar to debates. In schools, colleges, they have debates. Sometimes science is good or science is bad. Some say science is good. They talk about medical and all that. Some say science is bad. They talk about atomic bombs and all that. Okay. And conclusion. So there should be a conclusion. Conclusion is not this, it is good, it is bad. If you are good, it is good. If you are bad, it is bad. Not like this. You need to have a straightforward conclusion, and there should be a straightforward point of view that you're going to make over there. Although, if you're going to say one thing is fantastic, it does not mean other thing is not, but it is your opinion. So you need to discuss both sides, and both sides, when you discuss, you need to convince the examiner, and then you have to draw the conclusion on that. Okay. So this is what we call discussion essay. General training students often get discussion essay, or along with that, you may get a double question essay. In double question essay, there are two questions which you have to answer in detail in 2 body paragraphs, or you can answer one question in 2 body paragraphs and you can write 4 body paragraphs. And for discussion essay, discuss both views and give your own opinion. Now, it is entirely different from opinion essay. Opinion essay is only opinion essay. Now, what is discussion essay? You have to discuss both sides and you have to give your opinion. What is opinion essay? You have to agree or disagree, and then you have to write a contrast paragraph as well. So that is what we call opinion essay. And discussion essay will never disturb you. You know why? Because there is that sentence that every time comes, discuss both views and give your own opinion. So it is never confusing. It's never difficult to identify discussion essay, because they will use the word discuss. If the word discuss is there, that's okay. And again, if you get any unknown type of essays, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Now, how to write discussion essay? I'm going to give you a very quick layout of the sentences. We have all these things in the book, but you can just quickly listen to that. First of all, introduction. And introduction should be short. Don't write a long introduction that you say, okay, I will start strong. 10 sentences in introduction. In introduction, how many sentences should you write? Minimum? 3. Okay, minimum 3, then maximum 5, huh? Minimum 1 and maximum 3. I've seen some essays with 1 sentence introduction and then they start. So minimum 1 and maximum 3. Okay, if you write 1 sentence, it should be the thesis sentence of that essay. But I'll tell you about 3 sentences because you have to complete your word count. Minimum, how many words? 250 words minimum. And there is no limit on upper side, but it does not mean if you write more and you have more mistakes and they will give you low band score, not at all. Whatever you write, whether you write 50 words or 500 words, you have the same mistakes. So they will not count the mistakes. They will categorize your writing. Is it for 5 band? Is it for 6 band? So 6 band writing, whether you write 500 words or 5,000 words, it's the same for them, right? Okay, so we were talking about what last thing? Now, I was giving you the layout of the essay. So the first paragraph, introduction, there, the first sentence is a general sentence about the topic, whatever the topic of discussion is. These days, for example, topic is coeducation or single-sex schools. These days, a large number of young people go to schools. Some of them are coeducation. On the other hand, some schools are single-sex schools, right? Well, whatever you want to say. So the first sentence is a general sentence about the topic if you want to write it. If you don't want to write it, no problem. It's up to you. Second sentence, then you can start with second sentence. Now, what is the second sentence? Second sentence is paraphrase the topic. Some people believe, because in a discussion essay, they will give you 2 opposing views. They will write the statement like, some people believe going to a foreign country for higher education is good for young people. On the other hand, some people argue when you leave your country, you never come back again and you often leave your family as well. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. So in discussion essay, they will always give you 2 contrasting views and you have to discuss them both one by one in body paragraphs, okay? So when you write introduction, general sentence about the topic, paraphrase the topic, and then you write your thesis sentence. What is thesis sentence? Through your thesis sentence, you tell the examiner which essay you are writing. In this essay, I will discuss both sides of the argument and draw a conclusion at the end. Or this essay will discuss both sides of going to a foreign country for higher education before reaching any final conclusion. Right? So you can make a sentence. There are like at least tens of sentences in the book, so you can learn one for your thesis sentence. By the way, for every essay type, you need to memorize your thesis sentence. From thesis sentence, examiner will understand the type of essay you are writing. For example, if you say, in this essay, I will discuss some of the problems related to smoking and how to resolve these issues. Which essay is that? Problem solution essay. Okay. So if they say, I strongly agree, which essay is that? Opinion essay. So this thesis sentence is extremely important. For all 4 types of essays, memorize one thesis sentence. That if it is that, I'll write like that. Okay. So 3 sentences you've written. After that, body paragraph 1. In body paragraph 1, you will start with the first argument, explain that argument, give example, and then conclude that. I told you already. Okay. Then next body paragraph, opposite side. However, there is a large number of people who think living in a village is more organic. You are very close to nature, this and all that. So main argument, elaborate your argument, give example, and then conclusion. And you need to keep an eye on the word count. After writing introduction, you see 75 words. Good. Right? First body paragraph, you see 120 words. Good. Then write more. It's not that you finish your essay, say, oh, and there 120 words only. Okay, so then you cannot do anything. Keep an eye on each individual paragraph also, so that you know by the time you reach conclusion, you've written 240 words. Well done. 20-30 words in conclusion, 270-280 words. That is an ideal length for your essay. Okay, so something like this. And remember, essay writing is like cooking. When you're watching a cooking program, you, this is very good. I can also make Sindhi biryani like she's making. I can make better than her. But when you start, there are all the stuff around and all that stuff. So then it is difficult. So I told you all the things. Oh, yes, I know discussion essay, 5 paragraphs. Introduction, 3 sentences. But when you write, your hands will not move, right? Or, you'll not type. You'll be waiting. So that is why before you go to actual exam, you need to write at least 5 essays per type. And how many types do we have? 4 types. So how many essays in total? 20 minimum. Otherwise, I recommend you all to type 1 essay and 1 task 1 every day. It should be the part of your routine. You can set the time for it, and 1 essay a day, like an apple a day, keeps the doctor away. So 1 essay a day keeps low band in writing away.